USA. So my partner and I decided to take a 4-day road trip into the United States. We started off by going south through Montana, and even though there's not a lot that goes on there, I really liked it. The people were super friendly in all the gas stations and convenience stores we stopped in, and you never know how that's gonna go as an outwardly presenting queer couple. But it was fine. And the scenic drives were really nice too. There were very green trees and green hills, which wasn't the same for Wyoming. It felt a bit more like the Badlands, more dry and gray. And also we did drive beside a forest fire. Someone pulled us over on the side of the road while it was happening, and we weren't sure if we were even going to be able to continue the trip. But we were. So eventually we made it to Gillette, and that was our first stay. Gillette has this really amazing automotive museum. It's full of these neon signs and retro cars. It was honestly pretty magical and a really nice way to finish up the day. On our second day in the States, we got up pretty early and packed our stuff and headed onto the road into Colorado. For most of the drive, we had these beautiful mountains in the distance, but our final destination was Denver itself, which was just a huge city. When we got there, we freshened up at the hotel and kind of just threw our stuff on the ground and went for a walk. We came across this very cute queer shop where I ended up buying this red devil girl vase to the left. Honestly, there was so much more I wanted to get, but I was trying to stick to a budget. It's called Revolte Goods for anyone going through Denver. I highly recommend checking it out. Continuing onto our walk, we ended up in this sort of heritage area with natural brick and some really nice greenery. And then our final stop was a used bookstore. It was quite small, but had a really great selection. I ended up buying some poetry for myself and some friends. I picked up a classic, a zine, some stickers, you know, the whole works of a local bookstore. I feel like I should mention that because my partner and I were in a different country, we didn't have any working data or Wi-Fi. And for some reason, after the concert, we couldn't find any payphones or taxi cabs. It made it very difficult to find our way back home after the concert. But luckily, the staff at Brewdog were super kind and let us use their Wi-Fi even though we weren't paying customers. We were very grateful for that because we would have been stranded if we couldn't get an Uber. Because it had been a long night, the next morning we took it slow, slept in, ended up finding a pool at the hotel, and just sat with our feet in the water while we chatted about the night. And then we continued on in Denver. We ended up coming across this free market that had a really lovely Japanese coffee bar inside of it. It was quite small, but still very homey. I ended up getting a matcha latte, and my partner got an Americano, and they were phenomenal. So I also highly recommend this place. We spent our last evening at another Wyoming hotel. We watched one scene of Pulp Fiction and then walked over to a pizza parlor to end the trip. Even though it was a shorter one, 3 sleeps, 4 days, it still felt very full, and I had a lot of fun.